President Donald Trump said he was making progresses on a deal to prevent a government shutdown on Friday evening after a meeting with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer. Excellent preliminary meeting in Oval with Sen. Schumer working on solutions for security and our great military together with Senate Majority McConnell and Speaker Ryan. We discussed all of the major outstanding issues. We made some progress, but we still have a good number of disagreements. The Democratic senator said discussions will continue as the federal government hurled toward a shutdown. As day turned to night, lawmakers floated the idea of a 4 or 5 day extension that would authorize government spending through next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. A day-long solution would threaten his trip. Already, the president was prevented from flying to Palm Beach today. He is supposed to be holding a glitzy fundraiser celebrating the anniversary of his inauguration tomorrow. The talks with Schumer came after one of the president's chief aides said the prospect of a government shutdown was now 50-50 because senators are in a stalemate. Senate. A White House spokesman proclaimed Trump the negotiator-in-chief on Friday as the president rolled up his sleeves and went to work on Schumer, a New York Democrat and the Senate Minority Leader. "He's the one who wants a deal. He sets the terms," said White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. And two Republicans were claiming they would counteract them by voting no. Schumer attempted to pin the blame Friday on Trump for the looming shutdown. He shared a video of the future president saying in a 2011 Today Show interview that Barack Obama should take the heat if the government skidded to a halt. Trump's campaign apparatus hit Schumer just as the president signaled a détente. An email blasting the Democrat hit inboxes just as Trump was sitting down with the fellow New Yorker at the White House. "I've warned Chuck Schumer not to shut down the American government over illegal immigrants." Do not shut down the government, do not hold our military hostage, and do not deny healthcare to 9 million American children, all for the sake of protecting illegal immigrants. Americans come first. At an on-camera briefing prior to the Trump-Schumer summit, Mulvaney told White House reporters, is preparing for what we're calling the Schumer shutdown. "I just want to let everybody know that we don't want this. We do not want a shutdown," Mulvaney said. "I think it's ratcheted up," Mulvaney told reporters asking about the prospects of a shutdown at the White House on Friday morning. "The bottom line is we're working to make sure there is no shutdown, but if the Senate or the House can't get together to finalize a deal, we'll be ready." Trump is supposed to be holding a gala at his Palm Beach resort tomorrow evening to celebrate the first anniversary of his inauguration. They are typically paid retroactively. Shutdowns in 1995, 1996 and 2013 put roughly 800,000 government workers on furlough. The White House, Congress, State Department and Pentagon would remain online, although staff who are not critical to the operation would be sent home until further notice. Trump has claimed that the military would be cut deepest by a shutdown. However, troops would still report for duty, they just might not be paid on time. Mulvaney said Friday that the Obama administration weaponized the 2013 shutdown, and that was something this federal government would not do again. Mulvaney admitted during the White House's news conference that national parks would remain open, firefighters would keep working and service members would keep fighting overseas, in spite of Trump's dire claim yesterday that the group that loses big in a shutdown would be the military. "But don't lose sight of the fact that we're asking the military to work without pay. We're asking firefighters to work without pay. It's still harming the people," Mulvaney said on Friday. "All of these people will be working for nothing, which is simply not fair." Congress was teetering on the edge of a government shutdown on Friday after the House of Representatives passed a stopgap funding bill on a 230-197 vote, but the Senate did not. The upper chamber went into recess on Thursday evening with Senate Democrats poised to block the legislation. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell let members go home as he admitted that he was unclear what the president, who's technically the leader of the Republican Party, wants to happen. "I'm looking for something that President Trump supports, and he's not yet indicated what measure he's willing to sign," McConnell said. Senate Republicans are finding it practically impossible to wrangle 60 votes, the number needed to end debate. With a slim 51-49 majority, they need the unlikely help of Democrats to move forward. McConnell said Friday that Democrats now own the shutdown as they are the ones keeping a stopgap resolution from going into effect. White House Legislative Affairs Director Mark Short told reporters Friday that Trump had been calling senators, trying to talk them into supporting a resolution to keep the government open. Trump foreshadowed failure in a Friday morning tweet and hinted at the political bickering to come as Washington squabbled over who would be to blame for a midnight failure. Government funding bill passed sick last night in the House of Representatives, the president wrote on Twitter. at least 10 Democrats would have to cross party lines to keep that from happening. Senate Republican leaders will likely call vote after vote on Friday, forcing Democrats and reluctant members of their own party to stand and be counted over and over again until a funding measure passes. But the Democrats, who are insisting that a permanent version of the DACA immigration program be passed as a condition of keeping the government open, haven't yet blinked. Trump was scheduled to depart the White House on Friday afternoon for his Mar-a-Lago resort club in Palm Beach, Florida. "26 Democratic senators are up for re-election in November, including 10 in Republican-leaning states that Trump won in 2016. That has given Republicans the political will to stand their ground and force the issue. It's really is regrettable that the Democrats are willing to shut down the government," presidential counselor Kellyanne Conway said Friday morning on the Fox News channel. Former Trump campaign advisor Michael Caputo said on CNN that Republicans should man up, stand up for what they believe in and force the Democrats to reject the continuing resolution and force a government shutdown. Ryan urged Senate Democrats to do the right thing by the American people. Trump on Thursday contributed to the chaos with a tweet that suggested he no longer supports the House's funding extension. The president rejected a bargaining chip that House Speaker Paul Ryan had been pushing, a 6-year renewal of the children's health insurance program, and blasted conciliatory language on immigration his chief of staff had used to appease a group of congressional Democrats. At the Pentagon, Trump told reporters a shutdown could very well take place on Friday if Democrats do not come around to his position. Trump set up the Democrats to play fall guy last week when he tweeted that they did not really want to strike a deal to protect Dreamers. The Democrats want to shut down the government over amnesty for all and border security. Already, Congress has passed 3 funding extensions since the beginning of the 2018 fiscal year. Last month, with Christmas around the corner, Congress passed a short-term resolution to keep the federal government funded until January 20. Now, Republicans are looking to keep the government open until Feb. 16. Democrats are demanding that legislation protect the Dreamers, of which there are an estimated 800,000 in the United States. The White House says the issue should be handled separately as protections for the illegal immigrants who were brought to the U.S. President Trump appeared ready to revolt on Thursday as he dramatically slapped down his chief of staff's claims that he had changed or evolved on immigration after being educated by staff, and took a slap at Ryan's plan to hand the Democrats a win on chip. Trump said in a string of tweets that his beliefs immigration are the same now as they were when he was a candidate. "The wall is the wall, "It has never changed or evolved from the first day I conceived of it," Trump said. "Parts will be, of necessity, see-through, and it was never intended to be built in areas where there is natural protection such as mountains, wastelands or tough rivers or water. The wall will be paid for, directly or indirectly, or through longer-term reimbursement, by Mexico, which has a ridiculous $71 billion trade surplus with the U.S., he stated. Finishing the rant, Trump said, "The $20 billion wall is peanuts compared to what Mexico makes from the U.S. At a meeting on Wednesday with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus on Capitol Hill, Kelly reportedly said that some of Trump's views were uninformed. "As we talked about things, where this president is, and how much he wants to deal with this DACA issue and take it away," Kelly told Fox News later, "I told him there's been an evolutionary process that this president's gone through." During his meeting with members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, Kelly took credit for being the one who tempered Trump's positions on building a wall, Democratic Rep. Rolgridge Alva of Arizona told the New York Times. Kelly was the DHS secretary until late July, when Trump tapped him to replace Reince Priebus as chief of staff. The retired general told Brett Baer the administration now believes it can build a wall in the areas it needs, roughly 800 additional miles beyond the existing fencing, for $20 billion. "So he has evolved in the way he's looked at things," Kelly assessed. Campaign to governing are two different things. And this president is very, very flexible in terms of what is within the realm of the possible.